Hey everybody, Chronicles here, and welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. When we last left off, well, there was a surprise witness, the young lady that was present at the restaurant. She's wearing a swan on her head, and we're going to cross-examine her statement. She pointed the finger at us, and we are going to tear that apart and prove that she hid a gun somewhere on her person that night. Let's get into it. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. Oh, yes, Your Excellency. Cross-examination. A frightening and sorrowful sight. Hey, we got all of our little points up here. I had arranged to meet for a slightly late lunch with Dr. Wilson that day. Okay, no need to press that. I believe that. The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered for myself only a beefsteak. I think that's true too. After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor and they got into a fierce argument. If that didn't happen, let's press her on that. Yes! I never got into an argument with the professor. All I did when I noticed him was go over to say hello. Please, don't get angry at me. No, I wasn't directing that retort at you. It was meant for the lady next to you. But anyway, as I said, I did not argue with the professor. I'm afraid your words are in vain. Sorry? Miss Brett does not appear to speak Japanese. No, of course not. Japanese is such a cumbersome language anyway. We mean for you to translate there, guy. English is the future. We must all... Supiku Ingarishu. Oh my god, I'm so sorry for even reading that. Sorry, everybody. I'm reading what the game is presenting me here. This is not the views of Charlie Nerner 2. I wonder if the prosecution will feel that way forever, or if only in the presence of a beautiful woman, huh? Ooh, good call. Well, that beautiful woman is telling blatant lies with a completely straight face. I have to find something that will unravel her testimony, no matter how seemingly insignificant it may be. Why does she have a mask? Anyway, it seems that after argument, the accused briefly returned to his own seat. That part ties in with what you said, doesn't it? Yes, I still had some coffee to drink. And then the next time he got up after that was when I'd finished my coffee and stood up to leave. There's that smile. Then not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. Now that did not happen. Let's press that. Yes! Like I said, I'd not shoot that gun. And like I said, there's no point in repeating that assertion over and over. Well, I wasn't expecting to be attacked by my own side. Nevertheless, defendant, you can't deny that when shot rang out in the restaurant, you had a gun in your hand. Well, yes, that's true, but all I did was pick up the gun I saw on the floor next to the professor when I was leaving the restaurant. In fact, yes, there was someone much closer to the victim than me at that time, the highly suspicious lady. That will do, you dirty, rotten scoundrel. Dirty? Your baseless accusations could very well cause an international incident, boy. Seems to me that your accusation is just as baseless as ours. What nonsense. The lady is merely stating what she saw. How is her mask conforming to her face like that? And this is already an international incident as far as I'm concerned anyway. I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprit. Let's press that too. Yes! Is there a reason not to press these? It's all very well saying that, but can you prove it? Absolutely. I verified it personally. Did you now? You verified it? Yes, immediately after the incident, I checked to make sure the lady was not carrying a weapon. I distinctly remember her saying, "I'm not." So you just asked her? That's all you did, was just ask her? Surely you carried out a physical search, Inspector. No. Why on earth not? The honorable English gentlewoman clearly stated that she did not possess a weapon. There was obviously no need for any further probing into the matter. What is this? Or there was no permission given for any further probing into the matter, perhaps? Think what you will. But if you're going to continue with this preposterous claim that the refined lady was concealing a firearm, then the prosecution demands that you support your assertion with facts. In other words, he wants evidence. Ugh. The lady wishes to point out that of course she wanted to stay and assist with the investigation, but she was in a hurry to give a presentation at the university, so she was compelled to leave. Not to mention the fact that your office had told you to get the woman out of there. Not get her out of there, just urged her to leave. The lady would like to point out that she in no way meant to run away from the scene of the crime. Which is why she's only too happy to cooperate and testify here in court today, of course. Unlike a certain student who refuses to admit when the game is up. You could at least have the courtesy to pay attention when I'm goading you. So she's maintaining that you got into an argument with the professor, at the end of which you shot him. Which is an out-and-out, totally unfounded lie. Still, her statement is very compelling. After all, she's an elegant, refined, young, and beautiful gentlewoman from Great Britain. In stark contrast to you, dressed from head to toe in dull black school uniform. I'm dressed exactly the same way you are, except for the flapping red ribbons. At least they're calling that out. Well, anyway, this is our only chance to expose her testimony as the fiction that it is. If we can't do that, the trial's over. Even you with your thick skin must be able to feel the murderous looks you're getting from around the room. Only too well. I feel half dead already. And the fact that I can't see a single inconsistency in her testimony isn't making me feel any better either. First thing to do is press her on any of her statements that seem even slightly off to you. Do that and an opening will present itself, I promise you. Need to expose the true face of this exotic foreigner that's hiding behind the mask. That's what I should be aiming for in this cross-examination. Okay, I still believe that, but is there a reason not to press everything? I think, I'm going to go ahead and show you. I think we need to do the ordered for myself only, because if she is a refined gentlewoman, wouldn't he order for her? Let's press this. Yes! He was unable to eat, you say. And that was because he had just had a tooth removed at Tejada Clinic, correct? That's right. You're supposed to actually check with the witness before answering. Was Miss Brett aware of that fact? Seems so, yes. She'd heard the professor was to have some dental treatment. So that would mean that it was you who ate the steak pictured here. Is that right, Miss Brett? That's right, yes. The print you have there shows the table exactly as it was left after the horrifying events. Exactly as it was left, you say. Dear me, what a harrowing experience. To have traveled to a distant island on the far side of the world to be embroiled in such a tragic incident. Have no fear, my dear lady. I swear I will crush the evil fiend that has subjected you to this terrible plight. So the victim, Dr. Wilson, had nothing to eat or drink at all? That's right, other than some carbonated water. Just water. Yes, the professor was unable to eat, but he had been given permission to drink water. So it appears that the diners toasted their lunch with a glass of water each. They each raised a glass of carbonated water. What do you think, Ryunosuke? About the witness's last statement? I think it's meaningful. Last statement of yours, Miss Brett. has a profound bearing on this case. Well, well, how fascinating. Do tell us, what is this profound bearing, huh? I don't know it, do I? The significance of the statement will become apparent when the time is right. The defense calls for the witness's last statement to be formally added to the testimony. Well sidestepped, counsel. Very well. Miss Brett, kindly repeat what you just said to be added to your official testimony. Gladly. That was brilliant, Kazuma. I'm going to remember that one. Which one? The significance will become apparent when the time is right. I could really use that phrase. I'd hope there are some more useful tips you're picking up from this experience than that, Ryu. Ordered a beefsteak for myself, and the professor and I said cheers over a glass of carbonated water. Let's present this. So if we look at the picture, let's examine. There's only one glass here. Do I have to like highlight it? Looks like the professor didn't have any water. All right, let's present this.
Yes.
That's it. Let me just confirm something, please. It's to do with this photographic print. Just a short while ago, you spoke of this print showing the victim's table at the crime scene. That it was exactly as it was left. That is correct, the lady says. Well, that is, it's odd, very odd. Dear me, what's odd in the defense's inability to express itself? Ryu, what is about the print that looks odd to you? Well, obviously, it's the cheers. The cheers? Miss Brett just told us that she and the professor said cheers over a glass of water. But if that's true, only one glass. There should be two glasses on the table, not one. You're quite right, counsel. There's only one glass pictured here.
Attention!
Are we supposed to be impressed by this nitpicking over minutiae? Or minutia? What possible difference does the presence or absence of a glass make on the case?
Objection!
Minutia, you say? Could it be that a detective here removed a glass from the table to conceal the lady's presence? Of course not. I would never do something so reckless. But there should have been two glasses on the table. Are you going to try to tell me you can clink with only one? You're quite right. I certainly took two glasses to the table. Inspector, what did the lady say? It would seem that it was Miss Brett who took the glass from the table. What? It was all so terrifying, everything that happened. I panicked and thought I should try to hide the fact that I'd been there at all, she said. Or she's saying. Good gracious. Okay. Uh-oh, she spoke Japanese and said sorry. There, she assured the court before. This is of no consequence at all. Oh, please. We must remember that this student had just murdered this lady's luncheon companion before her very eyes. Who could blame her for concealing a glass or two in her state of disarray? That's absurd. Oh, really? So do we take it that you are now going to accuse this vulnerable, young and beautiful woman of such mischief? What? No. This can't be put down to mischief. I'd like to know. Exactly how the lady took the glass from the scene. It would seem that she slipped it into a small handbag she was carrying. Handbag, you say? Yes, Your Excellency. A small, handheld pouch commonly carried by well-to-do women in England. So the beautiful lady has very graciously explained how and why she removed the glass from the scene now. However, the fact remains that this glass has absolutely no bearing on the case. You're going to say that about everything, aren't you? This student has been trying to confuse the court with logical reasoning. Confuse the court with logical reasoning, but in the end it comes to nothing. No more pretentious accusations. You have wasted enough time already. Indeed, the lady has offered a satisfactory explanation as to why she removed the glass. I think henceforth we consider the matter to have no bearing on the case. Counsel for the defense, are you in agreement? No, we're not, because now we know that she had a handbag. If you want us to pursue this matter further, you're going to need to show that it has deeper significance. It does. It means that she could have concealed a gun. Yes, you're right. So she took the glass away in her handbag. If there's a deeper significance there, it's the handbag. Wait, the lady put the glass in her handbag, you say? Yes, do try to keep up. It's already been explained to the court that all English gentlewomen carry handbags for small items. Let me see. A little while ago, Miss Brett stated the following. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. But what she forgot to mention was her handbag, in which it would be perfectly possible to conceal a gun. You're right. My God. This is a freaking circus. Well done, partner. I had a feeling you'd pick up on that too. What are you insinuating, you vile blackguard? It's really very simple. The gunshot was heard when the defendant picked up the gun from the restaurant floor. As he didn't fire the gun, we can deduce there must have been another firearm at the scene. The true murder weapon, if you will. You can't seriously be suggesting. Inspector Hosonaga. Yes? Did you or did you not search Miss Giselle Brett's handbag on the day of the murder? He did not. No, sir, I did not. As I thought. In other words, another gun, the one that was actually used to kill the professor, could have been hidden in Mrs. Brett's handbag. No! Order, order, order. What is the meaning of this, Inspector? The meaning of what, Prosecutor Algie? Why on earth did you not have the lady open her handbag and show you the contents at the time? Thanks to your bungling incompetence, now she has to endure these uncomfortable accusations. Brilliant work, partner. Now we have a chance to expose the real woman behind the mask. Do you think so, Kazuma? Ahem, ahem, ahem. Well, what a sorry situation. Clearly you have no faith in the police. As I said, I did not search the lady's handbag after the shooting, simply because it was unnecessary. Unnecessary in what way? It's because the police guy did it. I ought to thank the student lawyer, really. I have a piece of evidence there that I'd completely forgotten about. This photographic print. This print is of a photograph that I thought would be prudent to take immediately after the shooting. What is this bull here? Does that mean he burned his hand on the stake? So he took a picture of the purse that is see-through. As you can see, it clearly shows Miss Brett's handbag. Well, I never. You can see right through to what's inside. That's right. Apparently, meshwork bags like these are the height of fashion in London at the moment. So the contents are clearly visible. Exactly. So there was no need to search the lady's handbag. If there had been a gun inside, it would have been immediately obvious. As you can see, there's nothing to imply Miss Brett's guilt here. Thank you for helping to prove that, Naruhodo-san. What? Order. Inspector Hosonaga, you will submit that print as evidence at once. Certainly, Your Excellency. The photograph of the handbag has been entered into the court record. Alright, I want to look at it. I think we had long enough to cross-examine the witness counsel. Court record. Examine. What about this? Can I like... There's a bull on his wrist. If we go back, go here. There's a bull here. Why would his wrist have been on here? It's his right hand, so we would have been turned around, right hand here. So the bag is over here. His wrist hanging down with the bull. So did he get shot and then moved? Maybe he got shot, his hand fell onto the hot bull, and then he was turned around and faced this way. Maybe. Let's just see where this case goes. Alright, he's given up. The court has now been shown considerable evidence. As the photographic print just submitted in the court record appears to have no further significance, I'm satisfied that there's no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling. There is significance. Indeed, and there is only one logical conclusion. That the pathetic rookie slumped over the bench before us is the only possible perpetrator of this crime. Pull yourself together, man. No. Just when I thought I was beginning to turn things around. I'm in a worse situation than I was at the start. Kazuma? Uh-oh. I'm sorry. Now that the cross-examination of the witness is over, there's no way to force the trial to continue. What? You mean this is it? I must say, you put up quite a fight for a rookie student. But the weaker meet while the strong eat. Can we present any of this? No, we can't. Let's look at people. Let's look at this crazy person. A British exchange student who was studying under the victim at UMay University's medical school. Okay, now we can't present anything right now. You are wasting your time. There is no way to defeat true justice. A fact you can chew on to your heart's content from the inside of your cell. This can't be happening. Am I really going to be found guilty of a crime that I didn't commit? And Kazuma. His dream of going to study in Great Britain will slip through his fingers. Kazuma. What? Is there really no chance now of turning this trial around? You heard the judge. There's nothing about that last photograph the detective produced that we can contest. Yes, there is. Which means there's no basis on which we can argue for the trial to continue. Very well. I will now proceed immediately to the ruling. Seems we'll be able to report to the British government on time after all. That smug little... Ryu Naruhodo, having considered all of the... Wait, Your Excellency. Ryu? I don't think you can rule in this case yet.
Objection!
This amateurishness is getting tedious. When His Excellency deems the trial is over, he gives his ruling. That is the most basic protocol of the courtroom.
Yes!
Your Excellency, just a moment ago you said this. As the photograph print just submitted appears to have no further significance, there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling. Now that means that if there was a problem with the evidence, some significant detail, I mean, then ruling on the case at this time would be out of the question.
Objection!
It's a blatant straw clutching. Look at this photographic print. All it shows is the handbag the gentlewoman was carrying on the day in question. There can be no problem with this evidence. You better know what you're doing, Ryu. I understand your objection, counsel. Certainly the new evidence submitted by the detective has not undergone the court scrutiny. However, I fail to see how we can glean any new information from this handbag. Ha! My thoughts exactly. Really, the prosecution is becoming tired of this rookie's desperate wheezes. Yes, I am desperate, but this isn't a wheeze. There's something about this photograph which just doesn't seem right. If only I could put my finger on it. Very well. I will grant this defense one final opportunity. What? But be warned that if I'm unsatisfied by your response, here, the trial will be over with immediate effect. Do I make myself clear? Yes, Your Excellency. So, take another look at the photographic print Inspector Hosonaga submitted before. You will identify for the court where in this print we see the significant detail to which you have alluded. Okay? Alright, so I gotta move it. It is right here. Right? Does it change anywhere else? No. I'm going to say it's here. And then I gotta hit, can't hit space, hit present.
Yes!
Look at this here. There's a very unusual mark on the victim's wrist. That is true. Looks almost like a burn of some description.
Objection!
Dear me, I was pondering what new piffle you would come out with. A burn, you say, on the victim's wrist? Clearly it has nothing whatsoever to do with the magnificent lady's handbag. Yes, that is a burn mark, you're right. Go on, Inspector. The police coroner also noticed it when he was performing the post-mortem examination. It was deemed unrelated to the cause of death, so he didn't note it in his report. What did I tell you? In any case, we have no idea when the victim suffered the burn, do we? And no possible way of knowing either. Yeah, we do. The more I look at it, the more I find myself intrigued by the curious shape of this mark. However, as Prosecutor Alchi points out, unless a firm connection to the case can be shown, I cannot allow any further time to be spent on the precise details of this burn. Excuse me, Your Excellency. It would seem Miss Brett has a lunch appointment with the Dean and other university staff. She would like to know if she may be excused from the stand now. Oh, of course, dear lady. We shan't hold you up any longer. I'm quite sure His Excellency is about to give his final ruling anyway. What you're thinking on this, Ryunosuke? Do you believe this burn does have something to do with the case? Yes, I do. To be honest, I'm not really sure. But if I don't keep pushing, then it's all over. So I was thinking I should keep digging and digging, in the hope that I might uncover something useful. Yes, you're right. I am? If we can just link that burn to the case, if we can do that, we might be able to price we might be able to price this shutting door back open again. Pry, maybe? Just give up, Counsel. You can't possibly hope to do that. Indeed, I'm afraid that without evidence, I can't allow you to pursue what is little more than conjecture. But if we had evidence that irrefutably linked the burn to the victim's wrist and to the case, then would you allow it? I would, yes. To tell the truth, I hadn't noticed that burn, but as soon as you pointed it out, what did I notice? What I did notice was the color draining from Miss Brett's face. Really? I have to find some link between that burn and the case. I noticed that other picture of where he was eating the steak, or rather she was eating the steak, and we will present that next time. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy my content, please consider to like, a comment, and or subscribe. Stay tuned for the next episode where we will present that evidence and try to get ourselves out of this mess that we're in. Stay tuned. Bye-bye.